Hey, what's going on, guys? Doing an unboxing today. I'm excited about this one because my iPad will be delivered later on today. So I'm trying to, this is a case for it that I'm trying to get unboxed and out of the way and tested before it gets here. So here's a box that came in. There we go. As you can tell, it's the LIFEPROOF case for the iPad. Since I pre-ordered it, they also gave me this cover for free, which is not a big deal, but it's an expensive case, though. So here's a cover and stand. LIFEPROOF. They say it's supposed to be waterproof, dirtproof, snowproof, and shockproof. Here's the side of it. And if you've watched any of my other videos, I told you how to get the iPad at a discount. I decided to get it before Black Friday because I wanted to take advantage of the free $50 iTunes card, and also the 5% cash back that they were doing on iPads through the website studentrate.com. So anyway, here's just the packaging of this thing, and let's go ahead and open this thing up and check it out. So here it is. It's got like a gray kind of see-through deal to it. Can't wait till UPS delivers my iPad today. And this is if you want to, okay, so if you want to use it in like typing mode or something like that, I think you just prop that piece up and then the iPad will stay slanted like that and you can type. Or if you want to use it in, viewing mode, you put it up like that, and then the iPad just kind of catches this lip right here and stays up straight like that, so you can watch it, in portrait mode. Probably in landscape too, but more for movies and stuff like that. So that is the unimportant piece of the case, and here is the big deal. So let's check out this box first. It says naked screen technology. That means there will be nothing between your finger and the screen, and yes, this will be waterproof. The case has got some weight to it. I mean, the box. So it's for the iPad 3 and the iPad 2. Waterproof, dirt, snow, and shock again. You get a case, you get a cloth, headphone jack, headphone adapter, and a water test insert. So obviously before you put this on your iPad and take it into water, you're going to have to test it. I got this case just because I just really wanted to protect my iPad from everything. I wanted to be able to, take it out and about with me, and if it's raining, I don't really want to have to worry about it. So that's why I ended up getting this. Don't know if I'll ever take it into like a pool or anything like that, but it's nice to have that option. And I've had this for about like 2 weeks. I was one of the ones who pre-ordered it, so they gave me this part for free. And since I ordered it before I had my iPad, I had to like patiently wait to do this, but I am unboxing it today because I expect to have my iPad sometime today. So let's test it and make sure it works. So here's one piece to it. I already unboxed. So like I said, these don't get sold together unless you did the pre-order. Okay, so here's a little headphone jack. This is if you're going to have it underwater. This kind of allows your whole experience to be waterproof, but if you're going to be using the speakers or something, you're not going to need this piece. Alright, so here we go. It's got this, the front part is plastic. It doesn't have, like, the sides have a really nice rubbery grip to it, while the front part has plastic, so it turns rubbery into the sides. So that's nice for grip reasons. It says do not use a screen protector with this case. Test unit, so this a piece of plastic right here. We'll get into how to test it. That's the front. After use, store in a safe place for future tests. Before water exposure, there's a little checklist you have to do. Study the instructions. Water test the case before installing the iPad. Make sure your iPad fits into the case, and make sure all the ports and seams are closed. And then for every day they have a checklist too. After major drops, always inspect it. Perform water tests without the iPad at regular intervals. Ensure all seals and O-rings are free of dust, fibers, and debris before closing the case. That's if you ever open it. Rinse the case with fresh water after exposure to chemicals like soap and detergents. So let's see what else it says here. So use of screen protector may interfere with the home button and waterproof seal function. Remove the screen protector. So you got like your vents right here. So this whole back is rubberized, as you can probably tell. Kind of. So here's a little switch. I believe that's probably for your mute. There's a little, oh, that's probably the screen on off button, or maybe that is, I'm not really sure. Oh, that's definitely the screen on off button. So one of these is a volume slider, and I'm not sure what these other buttons do, but we'll figure it out, I guess. Do not know what that's there for. Here is the headphone jack, so you just unscrew that, and if you're planning on using the waterproof headphones, you screw this piece in. I believe these are nothing. I think these are just like little stands. So still rubberized here. Feels really nice. I mean, the rubber feels like it will not slip out of your hand. I believe this is where the camera pokes out at, right here. Oh, here are the volume buttons, so this must be the mute switch right here. There you go. So we will do the water test. Let's go ahead and remove this sticker right here. So this is the front. Notice how my fingers are going through this part because there is no screen on here. Remove this before the use. Ensure the O-ring seal is firmly pressed before installation and fully seated into the groove. So the O-ring is this yellow thing that goes around. So you want to make sure that is in its groove and, you know, not damaged and all that sort of stuff. So we can take this piece out. Now, this is supposed to simulate, I guess, the front of your iPad, this plastic piece. So we will be using that for the water test. Here they have probably some instructions. Cleaning cloth. Here's the back of it. Another O-ring. So obviously make sure that that is also, you know, firmly seated and all that sort of stuff. Gotta be careful, this thing is really delicate here. This is the mesh that allows your speaker to be used without water getting into your iPad, so be careful about that. You don't want to scratch it because water can get in that way. 4. And let's check the instructions inside real quick. So read this before installation. So you want to check your O-rings, and that's the yellow thing that's going around. Make sure they're free of dust, dirt, and hair. And if they are dirty, then take them out and rinse in water and try to clean it off. Make sure that they are lodged in these little spots right here. So what the instruction shows, they have these little pegs that kind of like anchor them into place. So you're going to put the we're going to put it like this. I guess that's going to be simulating the iPad right there. And then we're going to snap this on over it. So slide the case in the front at an angle. So you're going to want to throw it on like this, I guess, with the bottom first. That's supposed to slide into place and then you snap it in. So you hook the base on first, like so. Firmly snap the front and the back of the case together, close all the seals, screw in the plug hole. So A is actually the screw that they're talking about is just a headphone jack. Snap the bottom closed for your charging port. It says leave it in about a foot of water for 3 minutes and hold it down by like a 2-pound object or something like that. If there's a stream of bubbles, that means that you have a leak. So take it out, try to clean it off and repeat. So they're saying pull the case out and dry it up. Make sure that water is not inside by looking through the screen that they provide you, the test plastic screen. First open the charge port door and then pry it open with some coins like this. Once you open it up, make sure the whole thing is dry. Now you put your iPad in there. So they say there are only certain screen protectors that you can use, so make sure the one that you use is approved by LIFEPROOF, and you can see which ones are approved by them by going on their website. So you start by putting your iPad with the back in first. Then you kind of just put the screen on like you did for the water test. Snap it up, snap it all in, close all the seals. So this is actually the orientation lock and the mute button. Here's your power button up here. And here's your volume sliders right there. If you ever have to remove your iPad, you just follow these instructions. I mean, the same way that you opened it after your water test. You open the charge port door, then pry it open with some coins. Take the bottom off first, and if you need to use your headphone, you just take that screw out and use this. If this is for the water, if you're not going to use it in the water, I suggest you just take the screw out and just plug in some headphones. See any other information that they're given. So they're just saying, you know, just make sure that everything looks good before you use it in the water. You know, check that the door is closed, the charge port door. Make sure that you have that screw for your headphone piece in, because a lot of people can probably forget about that screw. I almost have before, so it's not hard to do. Let's say you were using your headphone adapter or something like that, you took that piece out and just happened to forget to put it back in. I mean, that's a big mistake right there, even though it's something that's so easy to do. Yeah, look how this O-ring got taken out. We're gonna have to put this back in place. We have to make sure that these little T anchors get positioned correctly. I guess the big deal here is don't get your O-ring dirty or dusty or anything like that, so take good care of that. And I am going to do the water test, so I guess the next time you see this, I will have deemed if this thing is safe to use on my iPad, and hopefully my iPad will be installed in it. So we'll be submerging this in water for a little while, and we'll be checking up. See, there's some hooks right here. I guess that's why you gotta put the bottom on first. Like, this is a little tougher to put on than I thought. So step one is to slide this into place. And then snap down like this. So yeah, this O-ring does come out pretty easily, so you're going to have to make sure that that part's in and anchored down like they say. They say you're supposed to slide, place the clear test unit in, slide the case front on at an angle, hooking the base on first. That's what I did. And then snap down the top. And close all the seals. Alright, let's try that again. And make sure your O-ring is in place again. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely a case that once I get it on there, I'm not really going to be messing with it that much. Okay. Looks like the O-ring is in place. Now I put the iPad in, the fake iPad. Now they say you're supposed to hook these, see this like yellow dot right here, there's some hooks right here. Supposed to hook that in first by sliding it on at an angle. Every time I do that, it seems to lift up the iPad, so where would that be? So then they actually say to snap the top on first. that that's right. Okay, there we go. I think I finally got it on there. And then I snap this piece on. So it looks like that is the groove that you fit the coins in to pry it off. And right there. This gap is kind of worrying me a little bit. But as long as it passes the water test, I think we're okay. It's definitely a tighter seal on the side right here. Still not sure what this piece is. Maybe a microphone? So the gap's not huge, but there is a little bit of gap. And let's see if we can see anything through the sides. No, I cannot. So I believe the O-ring is firmly in place. This thing's got a little bit of weight to it. Let's see how it looks like with this cover. So obviously this would be glass once the iPad is actually installed in there. This is the front screen protector piece right here. And once you have your iPad installed, this fits on like so. And it protects your screen. Now, I'm not sure if I would recommend buying this piece. So pull it off. You just it's kind of flexible, so it's not a big deal. Because the reason I don't know if it's worth the 30 bucks. I mean, I got it for free since I pre-ordered. But once you take it out of the thing, like, what do you do with this? You have to carry this around or something like that in order to use your iPad, because it does not fit on the back. You know, it is good for a stand. Say you wanted to use your iPad like this. I mean, the stand part works. And the little stand works. Like so. But when you're done using it, you gotta just keep holding it. So it sort of fits on the back, but not really. So anyway, I'm off to do the water test now. Take it easy.